New York Yankees greatest managers. Now, Casey Stengel's the most successful, but we look at Joe Torre with his 4 chips. But did Joe Torre ever pass Billy Martin as the guy that you see as the Yankees manager, that it guy? You know, when you say that's that dude. Because for a lot of people, Billy Martin's type of attitude, and he got fired multiple times by Steinbrenner, but they had a running relationship, love, loathe. Did Joe Torre surpass Billy Martin as that Yankees manager? That's the big question. And I actually had a live stream some time ago where a cat came at me and he said Joe, he thought Joe Torre was overrated and he thought he had a more stacked team. But then I was reminded that Billy Martin had Reggie Jackson, Thurman Munson, Ron Guidry, Chris Chambliss. They weren't exactly chopped liver. Now, granted, now, yeah, you can look at hindsight with Joe Torre with Derek Jeter. But when they won with Paul O'Neill, Tino Martinez, Bernie Williams, they did get David Cohn, but they had Joe Girardi, Chuck Knobloch, and those guys. Mo Rivera. But Rivera wasn't Rivera at the time. So I thought I said Joe Torre's a great manager. I said he did great in Atlanta. I said he did, I said we did the Yankees. I said that was unknown. Hit and miss out with the Dodgers, you know, but he did obviously. It's harder to manage a team in the biggest market with the biggest ego, with the biggest owner with the big ego. That's hard to put that together. So when you go and you win 4 rings, you go to what? They went to 6 World Series. I mean, that's incredible what he accomplished. Considering before he got there, they weren't, Buck Showalter was there, they weren't exactly lighting it up. So he was the right fit at the right time and did it. Now, of course, the 3-0 choke job against Boston in '04, unfortunately. But most people ain't going to remember that. They're going to remember the success that Joe Torre did, and he did a great job. But Billy Martin's reputation as a hothead and managing the Yankees and getting fired and coming back, and he did win a ring, and him and Reggie Jackson got into it, and he was fiery and had all the personality and all that. It's like it asks a question: who do you look at as the ultimate Yankees manager out of Joe Torre and Billy Martin? It's a good question. It's a real good question. It's one of those questions that I think that you really be happen to kind of like think about. Um, because you really just sit there and you kind of like, well, they both had a role, you know. Now, could Billy Martin style? Well, he always did good wherever he went. It's just that he was a hothead. That's all. And Tory came across like a lot more balanced. So it makes for interesting debate. But I'm be curious as to who you see as the ultimate Yankees manager. Who you look at and say that guy. Because we put rings aside, but based on personality, based on their vibe, who was the one that you thought that was the dude that was the Yankees manager that I identify with, based on what era and how you look at it? I like Billy Martin a lot back in the day, and of course I remember what he did with Detroit, and what he did with Oakland. You know, he always could field the team, and team kept team credible. You know, but again, his fuse box was so much, but it's like his one ring and his time with the Yankees seems a lot longer. It's just something about him that you just assume because he really was Yankee lore. But Joe Torre, you can't even deny it. He wrote his tenure and he did his thing. So out of Joe Torre and Billy Martin, who do you look at as that Yankees manager that you identify as that Yankees manager that you identify as that guy? If you're gonna say the goat of the two, please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Stay woke. Stay free. I'm on. Peace.